Hello, athletes. Welcome and thank you for tuning into the Coach Katie Danger podcast, recorded live from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm your host, Coach Katie Danger, U.S. Army veteran, fitness coach, and founder of Red H Nutrition. Here's a fact for you. 99% of us are not elite athletes. We're individuals from all backgrounds, juggling life's priorities, including jobs, our families, their needs, and trying to find time to take care of ourselves. Every single week when you tune in, I'll be discussing clear, concise, and actionable strategies you can use to get the most from your fitness, nutrition, and mindset so you can optimize your life without compromising your time. So athletes, settle in and get comfortable. I'm here to educate, inspire, empower, and entertain you to help you enjoy the unique fitness journey that you are on. Hey, athletes, what is up? It is Coach Katie Danger here, and we are at episode number 81 of the Coach Katie Danger podcast. And this week, we're going to be talking about the top 5 questions that I get asked from every new fitness person that I come in contact with. I thought it would just be a great way to take all of these questions, put them together on one podcast. And then if you have those questions, obviously they're going to get answered today. Now, most of these are pretty basic questions, but the great thing about a basic question is almost everybody has them. And I guarantee out of these 5 that we dive into today, you're going to get one question you've had on your mind answered, and it's going to take you from point A to point B a lot quicker, wherever your fitness goals and whatever results you want to attain. So sit back, relax, maybe grab a cup of coffee or whatever your favorite beverage is, and let's dive into episode number 81. Now, I always like to start off with a little bit of a personal journey story because I feel like that makes me just more relatable. Like, I want you to understand, I want to be your coach, I want to be your guide and your leader, but I also am a human. I'm a human who struggles with similar things that everybody else struggles with. And here's what happened last weekend. So I did not get a chance to record an episode last week. It was kind of disappointing, but I just didn't have a really good plan in place for some other things in my life. And that included the podcast. I had my first triathlon in about a month. Now, the first triathlon that I did back in August, it was okay. I struggled with the swim. It was a little difficult for me, but I was bound determined that this particular triathlon, it was in Branched Oak, which is a little outside of Lincoln, Nebraska. So just about an hour away from me. I was determined to make sure that my swim was a better experience. Now, when I say better swim experience, that is going to mean something different for me than it's going to mean for another athlete. For me in particular, it was about a process goal, not necessarily a progress goal, but a process goal. So I wanted to swim the whole distance, the 750 yards, and I wanted to, obviously, I didn't want to drown. Like, I know I'm not going to die, but my main goal is I have got to find a way to control my anxiety when I'm in the water, when I am when I'm unable to see the bottom of a pool. I do not know if I've had any negative experiences in my life around swimming. I did YMCA swimming up until I was a senior in high school, never a competitive swimmer, but gosh, just for some reason, it's a swimming thing. It's just, it's become difficult. But I have a friend, she has allowed me to use her dock on the private lake. So I've got a lot of open water swim experience. So I made it through the swim and I did well and I had energy left. I had a great bike and I had a great run. So I thought in terms of the process that I wanted to experience, it was a win. It was a win. It was not a fast swim time. It was, by all accounts, when you're talking about comparing myself to others, I did very, very poorly in terms of time. But when I keep it within myself and compare it to myself and where I wanted to go, it was very successful. And I am doing another triathlon on Saturday in Kansas City. And I am all about the process goal, being comfortable in the water, having a smooth and efficient stroke, and reducing and perhaps eliminating all that anxiety altogether. The great news is an instant relief of anxiety is it is a shorter swim by 250 yards. So it's 500 instead of 750. So that in and of itself helps my mindset quite a bit. But what I want to get at is, I'm sure as somebody who is on a fitness journey and want results, whatever it is, lose weight, gain muscle, go to the Olympics, like whatever it is, no matter how basic or how complex, you've probably been approached by a coach before. And I was approached I've actually gotten some advice, and it's really kind of frustrating. And here's why it's frustrating. These people who want to coach me on improving my swim have never asked me exactly what I want out of it. They've never said, well, you said you had anxiety. You said that you need some technical coaching. What is it about it? Like, I've never gotten a why or what, or, where are you? How far have you come? What do you do when you swim? None of these probing questions that, like, if I was going to coach somebody, you listening right now, if I was going to coach you, I wouldn't come at you with you and say, oh, well, I'm a 5-time individual CrossFit Games competitor and I know everything because I also have a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's degree in exercise science and blah, 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 blah. Because you know what? I know you don't care. At the end of the day, my success means nothing to your success unless I can get to know you, know how my skills can benefit you, and we come up with a plan and ultimately execute that plan. So as a coach, that is what I do when I coach other people. I get to know them. I find out where they at, where they want to go, where have they been, et cetera, et cetera. Like what really drives that athlete and where do they want to go and what skills do they already bring to the table and where are the gaps and things that we can bridge. I've got nothing from that. It's all people are like, hey, I'm a coach and I'm great at what I do. And I had a great swim and you can too. And I don't buy that, man. I don't buy that. I get so frustrated when somebody desires to help me and all they do is talk about themselves and the cool accolades they have. What I want to say to those people when they reach out to me is I want to say, I don't give a rat's ass about your accomplishments and how many trophies you have on the wall. The only thing I care about is how you can help me accomplish what I want to accomplish. That's it. And when I'm a coach, when I am inquiring with potential clients, the first thing I'm going to ask is, who are you? What drives you? What are you doing now? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Because ultimately it's about them. They don't care about my skills. It matters if I'm able to take those skills and help them come up with a plan that matters to them. But at the end of the day, what I've accomplished in my life doesn't mean anything for you if you want to accomplish something. So I just want to put that perspective out there because as somebody who has a coaching program and who really cares about the people that I coach, getting the other end of the coaching spectrum is just kind of gross. And I hate it and I despise it. And if you're listening right now and you're a good swim coach, I'm willing to hear you out. But if you go ahead and if you lead with you're the best swimmer on earth and you've won 1 million awards, I'm just going to block and delete you because I don't care. So that's how I feel about it. Those are just some small issues that I've had with the past few weeks. And I wanted to catch y'all up on my philosophy of coaching. But should we dive into the top 5 things that I get asked? I think we shall. So I get asked certain questions all the time. Generally, they can be asked in a different way, packaged a little differently. But ultimately, these are the top 5 questions that I get asked. And the very first one, we're just going to start out right out the gate with a bang, is what is the best diet to lose weight? I get asked this all the time. Katie, I want to lose weight. What's the best diet? Should I do keto? Should I do carnivore? Should I do paleo? Should I cut calories? Should I reverse diet? Should I carb cycle? Should I cut out bread? And oh my gosh, the best diet is one that has 2 foundational principles. You got to watch what you eat. We're talking about the calories in and calories out equation because that's science. And then number 2 is the energy expenditure. So that's part of the calories out equation. Calories in the food, calories out the exercise. Those are the 2 foundational principles. There is no diet specifically that is better than the other for losing weight. And on the flip, for building muscle, you have to exercise. And you have to eat the correct things based on a few things. We could ask other questions, right? Like there are layers to this. It's not just like a one size fits all. But at the end of the day, there is no best single diet on earth to losing weight. There are things that have worked for others. You've probably tried a lot of things. And maybe perhaps the best thing that you need to think about right now is you just need a plan. Or maybe you need consistency. It's not so much about the diet itself. It's about being able to follow something with a specific intent and purpose for a lengthy period of time to see the results. So it's not about the right diet. It's about adhering to the right diet principles, calories in, calories out, the food you eat, your water, your sleep, your exercise, putting all that together and adhering to it for a lengthy period of time so you can then see those results. So that's why I always speak about moderation, not restriction. Because you can still have your favorite foods. You can still go out to eat. You can still enjoy an alcoholic beverage every now and then and still lose the weight and see the results you want to see. So sum it up. As far as the best diet, there is no single best diet. I'm sure you're frustrated because you're like, just tell me the best things to eat. But I can only tell you the best things to eat if I get to know you as a person and what makes you tick and where you want to go and what results you want to see and what you're already doing. So there is no single best diet, but there is a plan out there for you. And if you haven't found it yet, I'd highly consider looking for a coach that can help you create that plan. Okay, the second question that I get asked, how long should I be exercising? And this is another one of those, it depends. You're probably going to get sick of me saying that, is it depends. And it really depends on what your goal is, what your age is, and what your current activity level is. For most people, you should not really spend any more than 2 hours at a time in the gym. And that's kind of even excessive right there. In fact, if you want to lose weight and if you're just like, I want to be healthy, there is a minimum effective dose of both weight training, so physical lifting, and then there's a minimum effective dose of cardio, respiratory, endurance activity that will help activate the goals that you want to help see the results. And it depends again, one, how much time do you actually have? How aggressive are your goals? Sometimes it's like we want to go fast out the gate and really hit it hard. And then we dial it back as the body starts to see those adaptations. We don't need as much of a dose to get to where we want to go. So if you're wondering how much time should you spend in the gym, once again, it depends. But generally, I would say 60 minutes a day, 3 to 4 times a week is sufficient. Now, you have a super aggressive goal like Mr. Olympia or losing, hundreds of pounds, or like performance based, where we're talking about like, I want to be a high level, perhaps an Olympic athlete. That's when you're going to have to spend more time in the gym. And we're talking more sport specific. But if we're just at the bottom of this pyramid in terms of what specificity you're looking for, if this is just about looking great, toning up, losing some fat, building some muscle, you can get by 60 minutes a day, 3 to 4 times a week with a good plan that incorporates both cardio and strength training. Now, a great way to kind of cut that out, if you're looking for quick results, HIIT training, high intensity interval training, CrossFit classes, those sorts of things. Those are going to be really, really good, but you got to be careful because they can put a damper on your recovery, which when you're not recovering properly, your body goes into a sort of, fight or flight mode. It protects itself and you might stop seeing results because your body's like, yo, we got to stop this. It's too intense. My hormonal levels aren't regulated as they should be. So do be careful when you're adding HIIT training because more is not better. Better is better. Okay. Hey, I know, and you know that I talk a lot about using supplements on your fitness journey and reaching your full potential. How I believe they're integral pieces of the puzzle to reaching your best self and best fitness results. But do you know how supplements fit into your plan? Do you know what to take for your goals and how much of a supplement you should take? If you've ever had any of those questions and you want to know how supplements can work for you and your goals, go to yourfitnesssupplements.com and take the free 3-point personalized supplement assessment. And with just a few questions, you'll have a complete personalized supplement recommendation in less than 60 seconds. You'll know more about how supplements fit into your fitness goals, what's safe, and what's effective and perfect for you. So type in yourfitnesssupplements.com in your internet browser, take the free assessment, and get on the fast track to your best fitness results. The next one, I like reading through these. I wrote these out before, but going through them again, it just kind of makes me chuckle because I've asked questions like this before. I really want to know what the best X, Y, or Z is, or the fastest way or the quickest way, right? Or the most efficient way. We always want to figure out how we can get better results in less time. That's like the ultimate pinnacle of human achievement when it comes to, really anything, not just fitness, anything. So before I digress any further on that, number 3, what's the best food to build muscle? Okay, this one's a little easier to talk about. Now, once again, it depends. It depends on what you like, any food allergies, intolerances, gut health, things that you may have. There are proteins, there are fats, and there are carbohydrates. And we need all 3 of them in a combination of some sort in order for our bodies to be fed and fueled. But when it comes to building muscle, protein is king. Protein is king, protein is king, protein is king. I said it 3 times because protein is king. You need to eat protein in order to gain muscle. And generally, how much muscle you want to gain then also depends on how much protein you eat. Some of you out there are going to think this is too high, but if you are a big dude, like let's say you're a 250-pound, 6'5" male, and you want to gain muscle and put on more muscle, maybe you already have some, maybe you just want to put on more, you're going to need a lot of protein in your day. And this isn't like all of a sudden you just start throwing in, a shit ton of protein in your day. It's a gradual increase. You're not just going to go from like 100 grams of protein to 250. But I strongly believe in 1 gram per pound of body weight a day at a minimum to continue to build muscle. Now, if you want to get more aggressive than that, you can look at 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So simplest terms, if you're a 100-pound human, you need at least 100 grams of protein every single day. And there are so many different ways to get high quality, lean protein in your diet. I have a blog post. If you go to my website, coachkatiedanger.com, put in the search bar, high protein snacks, 15 delicious high protein snacks you can start throwing in your diet right away to start increasing and meeting your protein goals and needs So if you're listening right now, to sum up the question number 3, what's the best food to build muscle? It's not necessarily the food. You need protein, but aim for 1 gram per pound of body weight every single day. Every single day, whether it's cardio, whether it's weightlifting, whether it's HIIT. Now remember though, you also have to keep in consideration the calories in and calories out. If you're getting 100 grams of protein a day, there are 4 calories per gram of protein. So you're already looking at 400 calories right there in your 100 grams. And depending on what your caloric needs are for the day, calories in, calories out, then this is where we try and balance the additional calories from fats and from carbohydrates. That's also another podcast you could go back and reference. Go to the CoachKatieDangerPodcast.com. And then in the search bar, just look for easy macros or how to count macros. That podcast goes over everything when it comes to protein, fats, and carbs and how to set up your macro plan. Or you could send me an email. We could always work together, Katie@CoachKatieDanger.com. But no food directly is going to cause muscle growth. You need the combination of the weightlifting to put that stimulus on your muscle, and then to have the cells signal what they need in order to build muscle and grow muscle. But then you got to feed it. So that's where protein becomes king. Okay, so protein. If you want to build muscle, you need protein. What should I eat after I work out? It depends. Now, if you're mostly doing cardio, then some protein and high carb foods are going to be the best. But if you're doing more weight training, then you really want to look at a protein shake and then maybe some moderately complex carbohydrates. And what I mean by that is sweet potato is good. Bananas are great. But really what goes on when you get done working out is we want to replenish the glycogen that has been depleted from our liver and our cells. So perhaps you've done a marathon or a half marathon, or when I was in high school, I did cross country. So we'd always have spaghetti feeds the night before a race, which I like thinking back, it just seems kind of silly because I would eat a ton of spaghetti because it's like 100 pounds soaking wet when I was in high school. And I was like, oh, the more spaghetti I eat, the faster I'll run. Well, what ended up happening is I ended up getting really sick and having indigestion, not running worth of shit because I ate too much pasta and was loaded down and then didn't go to the bathroom the morning before the run. So yeah, replenishing and making sure you have enough glycogen stores in your liver, in your body is very important, especially for an endurance cardio, like a marathon, a race, a triathlon. But getting fuel after you work out is also important because, one, we want to replenish that glycogen so we can continue to work out. Maybe you have a competition that's like a 2 a day. Maybe you're going to do something heavy again the next day, whatever it is. You want to make sure you do get in proper carbohydrates to replenish what you have used. But then you also do want to make sure that you get protein in so you can help repair what has been broken down through your training, whether it's pounding the pavement for hours at a time in a road race, or it's a heavy, hardcore lifting session or HIIT. So it's important to remember that both protein and carbs are important for sustained muscle growth. And I've put this out there before, and I'm going to say it again. Protein is very important. But if you really want to dive deeper into the science of protein and the amino acids that you're getting, L-leucine. So if protein is king, L-leucine should be king too. But we'll just call it queen in this instance, just for 2 sides of the coin. L-leucine helps signal cells to pull in what it needs in order to continue to grow. I don't need to get in the science of it. You can actually check that out in my hypertrophy podcast if you want to. I should have gone through and referenced all of these so I can give you the numbers. But you can find all of these on the CoachKatieDanger.com website. But that particular podcast is about hypertrophy and building the most muscle you possibly can. And I dive into L-leucine and everything about it. It's freaking awesome. So what you should eat after you work out, it depends on what that workout is. And then the last question I'm going to go over, what should you do first, cardio or weights? And this, once again, it depends. And it all starts with what is your goal? What is your goal? If your goal is to build the most muscle, you want to do your weight training first. Then you want to do your cardio afterwards. And the main reason is your body needs the most energy available to it when you're lifting weights, especially if you're talking about going heavy, doing a max out day, doing leg day. You want to do your weights first. Maybe you hop on the treadmill for like 5 minutes at a very low, like 3 to 4 miles an hour and just walk, get your body moving for range of motion and just warmth of the muscles warming up. But if you're going for ultimate strength and mass, do your weights first. Now, if you are training for an endurance event, I highly suggest that you do your cardio first. You always want to think, what is my main goal? And I want to do that first because I want my most available energy for that goal. So if it's endurance, you do your endurance first. If it's I want to get strong, you do your weights first. It's really that simple. There's no more need to think more about it. So ask yourself, what should I do first? What's my goal? What do I want most out of this workout? Do I want to get strong or do I want to build endurance? Whichever one you want more of, you do that one first. So that is the summation of all of the questions I get asked in 5 specific parts. What's the best diet to lose weight? How long should I be exercising? What's the best food to build muscle? What should I eat after I work out? And what should I do first, cardio or weights? Now, take all of these, and that's great, right? This is great information, but how do you put it together? You need a plan, like how to do anything, like how to X, Y, or Z. You need a plan, and you always got to start with a plan. So if you want to lose weight, if you want to build muscle, you can do all that on your own. All the information's out there. You can Google best strength training programs, 8-week strength training program. You can do all that. But if your plan is not systematic, periodized, and specific for you and what goes on in your life and who you are, a lot of times what happens is we get frustrated with results. We don't see results, and then we want to fall off a wagon and then get back on another wagon because it seems sexier. This happens all the time in yo-yo dieting. You know, the next sexy diet comes out, whatever the name it may be, and it's just a little different than the last diet you tried, but you're going to try it because you see all these people in amazing bikini-ready bodies. So you try it. It doesn't work for you. It's like you're trying to shove a circle in a square or a square in a circle, you know, whatever you want to call it, just doesn't work for you. So you need a plan that works for you. And what that means is it's a plan not just when things go good, but it's a plan when things don't go as planned. You know, do you have a plan when it comes to traveling? Do you have a plan when it comes to going to a restaurant? Do you have a plan when a kid gets sick or when you get sick? You need those contingencies built into your plan so that whatever comes up, there is no falling off the wagon. There's no yo-yoing. You know what to do and you feel confident in doing it. So you get a plan, you work the plan, and then when stuff happens, you adapt, you challenge yourself, and then you move forward with the new plan. It's not about just throwing the plan out the window, you know, crumbling up the piece of paper and say, well, didn't work for me. And 2 weeks later, you want to try something new. Working the plan, trusting in the plan, believing in yourself, trusting the process. What I will say at the end of this podcast is everything you need to do. Now, if you need help building that plan, that is where I am here to help you. I'm here to help you. And the metabolic amplification formula was designed to be individualized, to be personalized, to be periodized, to help you get the results that you want that fit into your lifestyle. You can lose the belly. You can build muscle. You can look great in 90 days. All you got to do is work the plan, So if you're looking for different results that will actually stick, but results that will come quickly, then what I suggest is why don't you schedule your call with me? Fill out the coaching application. So I have a coaching application. You can find it at talkwithcoachkatie.com. It'll only take you 5 minutes to fill out, and it'll give me a really good idea of who you are, what makes you tick, and where you want to go. And then I can see if we'd be a good fit to work together, because ultimately I need to know about you and who you are right here and right here, so we can create a plan that actually fits your life and where you are and where you want to go. You need a plan, and I'm here to help you work that plan. So if you're ready, go to talkwithcoachkatie.com. I want to learn more about you. But in the meantime, athletes, I'm going to wrap this episode up. Episode number 81 is going in the books here real soon. And I'm always going to end it with a few things. I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to trust the process, enjoy the journey, and most of all, don't ever quit on yourself, because the moment that you quit is the moment that all your results stall. Any potential you have will not be met, and it's just crushing. So don't ever quit. And if you ever want to quit, if you're ever getting frustrated, just send me an email, okay? Just send me an email, katie@coachkatiedanger.com. The last thing I want is to hear about somebody who just gave up on themselves, because I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in your potential. I believe in where you want to go. I believe you can have it all. You can have your, this might be a bad metaphor or analogy or whatever it is, but you can have your cake and eat it too. You can get whatever you want in life. There is an abundance of all the results out there. You just need a plan. So believe in yourself. If you want to talk with me more about the plan, go to talkwithcoachkatiedanger.com. I am here for you. Athletes, this is Coach Katie D. I'm wrapping up episode number 81. You can get all of the episodes on my website, coachkatiedanger.com. So yeah, go to coachkatiedanger.com or coachkatiedangerpodcast.com, and you can get the full, all 81 episodes at your fingertips. And you can even have maybe a binge listening party as the colder weather sets in. But in the meantime, this is Coach Katie D. Over and out.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.